day, guys. I get a lot of questions as far as making money in real estate in general. This falls to all types of strategies in real estate.
On condominiums in Hampton, gated community with the pool, great turnkey asset.
This is my secret of how I make a fortune in real estate. Free content that I give out, guys. I'm very passionate what I do about teaching. Alright, so hey, what's up, guys? This is Antonio Edwards here. Sorry about that. I was trying to finish up this call real quick, guys. But today's video, guys, I want to show you what the don'ts and what the do's are for properties. This is a property right here that one of my coaching clients has under contract. He doesn't want to reveal his face just yet, guys. He's just one of those type of people who's very quiet and want to be behind the scenes. I would love to have him in front of the camera with me, but I just wanted to show you this property, guys. And I wanted to disclose that this is one of my coaching clients, this property. He's killing it. He's crushing the game right now. He's getting properties on the contract, picking up checks. And this right here, guys, all right, as you can see, this is a property, a single family home, and it's in the hood, all right? This is in the hood of Orlando, Florida. We call this the war zone. That's the term in the investor field, okay? It's called a war zone. And this is like the hood of Orlando. This is the worst as you can get it. This is off a street called Orange Blossom Trail, and it's in the worst part of Orange Blossom Trail. Okay, so we're gonna walk up a little bit. This is supposed to be a vacant property, guys. As you can see, if you zoom in, guys, we see some squatters. All right, you know, right in front of the property. You know, when I walk up to a property, guys, this is the first thing I look at. I look at the block. No, we just give them a little circle of the block, just this way. All right, you should see that right there, guys. And we see this right to that street right there in the building. All right, and as we walk this way a little bit, as I go next door to the property that we have, my coaching client has in the contract, I see two other dilapidated type properties, guys, that just look just like distressed. This whole block, guys, is one for sale sign that's down the end. That I looked that up, and that's been on the market for almost a year, and it's just sitting there, guys, because this is one of the worst streets in Orlando. So we can just go look at the property again. I see about 5 people squatting in front of this property. This is supposed to be a vacant house. My coaching client has it on a contract for $15,000, okay? And what the don'ts are is when you're in the low-end area, when you're in the lowest low-end of an area in your market, you want to be lower than, if you're trying to get rid of this property and wholesale it, guys, if that's your exit strategy, you want to be cheaper than the cheapest person in the market, okay? Now, I look in this area, and $15,000 is really not that cheap for this area, okay? And when I started out, everybody knows that studied me and went through my home study courses and my books know that I started out flipping hood houses, guys. I started out flipping low-end homes. I used to get these property on the contract dirt cheap, okay? When I say dirt cheap, if I see somebody buying a house for $10,000, I'm going to try to get this property on the contract for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 so I can flip it to that guy for $10,000 and only make me $5,000 assignment fee. So these are the type of areas where you want to get them cheap. So $15,000 is possibly a high amount for this particular property because number one, all right, you want to attract a buyer, a quick crash buyer that wants to buy it quick like that, even though it's in the hood. This is going to be a tough sale. For number one, when you tell your cash buyer the address and they drive up past the property, he's going to see these squatters, guys. All right. As you can see, he's going to see these squatters. That's going to be a negative. Number 2 is in the hood. Number 3 is on the worst street in the hood. Number 4 is right next to a busy road in the hood. You hear nothing but cars behind me. All right? And there's other distressed properties next door to it. So therefore, to be on the safe side for a $15,000 house, guys, you know, I would get this property on the contract for $4,000 or $5,000 or cheaper. Okay? Or cheaper, because it's going to be hard. Another thing, it's going to be hard to put tenants in this property. For number one, you got to get these squatters out. They're there on a daily basis, just squatting in the house. Okay, so number one, that's a thing that you have to do. Once once the end buyer acquires a property, you gotta think, okay, how is this end buyer, what is he gonna do? If he's gonna rent it out, okay, for number one, he has to get these squatters away constantly. He gotta get them away from the house for good. Number two, how long is it gonna take for him to occupy the property with a tenant or a tenant buyer? And for this type of area, guys, it's gonna take forever. Number three, what type of quality tenant is gonna be in this property? All right, so you wanna get this property under contract cheap as possible. As a steal, get at a crackhead price. If you're willing to wholesale and want to deal with wholesaling properties in hood homes. Another thing, hood houses are not the easiest sell as far as wholesaling if they're like this. Okay, so that's why you want to get it on the contract cheap as possible. Another thing, when you're dealing with hood houses for a low price, my coaching client found out is a code enforcement on the property that exceeds the purchase price of his property at $15,000. So when you're dealing with a cheap $15,000 or $10,000 or $5,000 house, you have to take account that it could be some liens, some encumbrances, some child support, some judgments on the property. One lien can wipe out $15,000, or one lien can wipe out $5,000 if you have it on a contract for that cheap. So that was the problems I was accumulating when I was flipping hood houses, and it was a headache. It's more work. You can make quick money if you get them on a contract cheap, but it's more work because you have to deal with these type of liens, judgments, hard sales, all that type of jazz. All right. So just to make a quick $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 assignment fee. All right. So just keep that in mind, guys. If you want to flip hood houses, you want to flip houses in the low-end areas as far as assigning them to your end buyers, keep in mind that you're going to have some liens, some judgments, possible, not all the time. If you don't even have that, keep in mind that you want to get it on the contract dirt cheap. If you're not scared to offer what you want to offer, then you're offering too much for your property. So keep that in mind, especially in hood houses. You offer $3,000 for a house in the low-end area with people buying them at $10,000, and you're scared about that, then offer that $3,000. All right. So this is Antonio Edwards. Again, this the property has on the contract. We're still going through the process with the code enforcement. Hopefully that we can get a waiver off the property with the code enforcement for them to waive that off the property. Maybe not. If not, then it's gonna be a dead deal, and we will move on to the next property, guys. Go ahead and subscribe to my podcast at The Real Estate Rich and Famous, and go download my free book at REIRichandFamous.com. Antonio Edwards signing off, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.